This is a clip from the Cannon podcast. To hear the full episode and get access to exclusive benefits, head over to patreon.com/thecannonpod and sign up for just £3 a month.
Now, George mentioned his name earlier. Was it Armio Cozier-Duberry? Is the only Arsenal, Mario. He's the only Arsenal youngster to go with Arsenal to pre-season to USA. There was no space for Wanyeri or Miles Lewis-Skelly or Rui Waters. So clearly, Mikel Arteta rates this player very highly. You talked about what he offers Arsenal. What can fans expect from him pre-season? Are we going to see him play minutes?
I think it's guaranteed when you bring him. You don't bring a youngster like that and you don't play him. So he's going to get minutes, and I'm excited for people to see him. I think what you're going to see is a player more ready than you think. He's a very small player, so I think people are going to wrongly assume he's not physical. No, this is a guy that gets stuck in. I've said before, I actually see a potential for him to be potentially an attacking midfielder because of his diligence off the ball. This is a guy in the academy that, rolls people. I've talked about that, but he's also very two-way. He's not somebody that shies away from duels, and he's not somebody that shies away from the press. He's very diligent in terms of if you ask him to do a role in terms of sitting in and allowing others to go, he will do that role and do it very well, by the way. He's extremely technical. I think one of the big things that I struggle with sometimes is I think he can do a little bit better in terms of his shot technique. I think he's got a good finish on him. It's just I don't think at times his ball striking is consistent, so he doesn't find it all the time. And I actually think that's something that Bukayo is working towards a bit. Very similar. One thing that I like about Mario that's a little bit different than what we have is he is a mover. I look at our front line, guys, and how many people could you count on your finger that are ball to feet? Saka, Trossard, Jesus. Is it Martinelli that's potentially the only one that would move off the ball that you would argue? Even Eddie Nketiah is ball to feet, I look at Mario and he's got this ability to kind of ghost back post and really offer himself in that Freddie Ljungberg type of winger, that guy that will attack spaces in a sense. People look at Moussa Diaby, for example, and I'm like, why? You've got somebody that's got the exact same traits at home that actually has a little bit more in terms of his inventiveness, his creative side. And I think that's something that I'm really excited for people to see because it'll be an interesting way how we use him. It'll definitely be on the right wing. But I think a lot of people will look at Mario and say, this is a boy that's very short. He's not ready. And I really urge people to have a look because when you talk about low center of gravity, ability to turn, roll people, that is a Mario's strength and strength in spades. So I think people will be very surprised about the level of physicality and also the decision-making. I think people will be surprised how ready he is to impact the first team. Now, does Mikel do better about that? We've talked about that here on the channel before in terms of Mikel giving space to youngsters and giving time and debuts to youngsters. We need to see it. I don't think that you need to buy every single solution on the market. And that's not me being cheap. I think it's redundant to buy something when you've got it at home. If he was somebody that I don't think that you believed in, then no problem. Sell him, create space, find a new player. But, when you have a look at it, Marquinhos has been bought to be sent out on loan. We've got space now to find a youth right winger. And it would be nice to have. And you know what? It's amazing that we've got somebody of the same profile of Saka. Why not use it? And so I'd like to see it. I'm not going to be surprised when he does well. I'll be bold. I think he will do very well. I think it'll be something where a lot of people will say, oh, we should talk about a Mario in the same breath as Miles and Ethan. And you should.
Thanks for checking out the Cannon podcast. To get full episodes and access to exclusive benefits, head over to patreon.com/thecannonpod and sign up for just £3 a month.